It's showtime.
Okay guys, welcome back. You're watching the STPL. We are about to head into the ace match between DM and Clan Revolution. It's going to be on Icarus. Slight change of plan. I actually put the wrong map in my overlay, but all the thread was alright, so that's just me being silly. But I've been off for a week of work, so it's been great.
And I've been off for a week of vacation here in Korea for Chuseok, or Korean Thanksgiving holiday. So we've both had a little bit of time off here. Got to play a little bit of Brood War, got to watch a lot of it, and so now it's good to be back to casting.
It is, and we're gonna have an interesting game coming up here. I'm just adding this player to the overlay. I know he's a very strong player, so it's gonna be cool to see how he does here in this game. But
okay, we need to clarify something, Kix.
Yeah.
During the break, you revealed to me that I had been bamboozled.
Right.
And then the final map is Icarus and not Athena.
Okay.
And I'm very disappointed with you about that because
I'm sorry.
I had gotten my hopes up for Athena, not just any Athena, but Athena 2. And now we don't get any of that.
This is better for you because next week Athena's going to be the Athena's the 3-player map, so it will be. No, Athena will be back in 2 weeks. Yeah, I don't know how I managed to put Athena in the overlay. Oh well, talking of the overlay, let's move on over and let's have a look at who our players are going to be and what the matchup's going to be, because it's the ace match, so this was unknown to me before, but we're going to have for DM, it's the man himself, it's Kyrie. I believe he plays PvT but is a Terran main, so he's one of those filthy race pickers, but this is going to be his debut match in the STPL. And he is going to be up against the player we just saw just then take down Yaj. It's going to be MadiNho, so Clan Rev really making use of their best assets here. Now we do of course have MadiNho 1-0 in this round, we just saw that game. And he's going to be taking down Kyrie if he can on Icarus. Now rather than Athena 2, this is kind of like Athena 2 where it's a StarCraft Brood War map. The differences are this is space platform, and it's 4-player, very, very standard map, very kind of constricted middle, which helps out Terran in TVP. But of course,
what do you mean? This is kind of like Athena 2. This is like the most not like Athena 2 ever.
It was a poor joke based on the fact it's a Brood War map.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha! You're so funny, Kix.
Okay, well, both our minds are breaking, but either way, a very good map for shuttles, very good map for drop play, and what we've seen from MadiNho is he doesn't shy away from that, so let's see how he's going to do here against Kyrie. Can Kyrie reclaim the throne of DM? Can he get them the first win? Let's find out as we move on to our game. It's DM versus Rev, it's the ace match. Okay, and over here in the bottom left 9 o'clock position in the brown, fighting for DM, it is Kyrie.
And his opponent in the, what was that, 12 o'clock location, or 11 o'clock, this is Rev's MadiNho, who actually had a really sick win to bring it back, tie up the series, and get us to this ace match in the first place.
Yep, now MadiNho a very, very strong player. Kyrie is DM's Korean player, I believe. I don't think they have any other Koreans, but he's a really cool guy from what I understand from seeing White talk about him and things. So should be a very interesting match. If you've just tuned in, MadiNho is a very strong 2v2 player, one of the best in the world in fact, and he's really starting to show his stuff, showing his metal off here in 1v1 in the STPL.
I don't know what the action is from Korea to Norway, but I'm guessing it's probably not turn rate 24. Might see some effects from that, but just something to keep in the back of your mind as we watch this. PvT, so once again, another day where we get a few diverse matchups. Not as diverse as a couple of days ago, but I'll take what I can get. So how is this going to work out? We've seen basically the full gamut of what PBTs can look like already, and we're only like 2 days in to the season. So I don't know what to expect, but I would imagine that Terran should try to, hold 2 bases, go up to mech. Maybe the Protoss will put on pressure with Dragoons, then pull back, try to get a third, and out expand. But I never know exactly how players want to play. At least we don't see anything super weird just yet.
Yeah, we don't see any proxy gates or anything like that. Now, this is actually a very strong map for proxy gates. If you put gateways directly in the center of the map, I believe, unlike on some maps, you've got pretty much very short rush distance to every single main. So, looks like we're just going to see a standard opening from Kyrie. Now, of course, when you do have 2 strong players like this, a lot of the time it can be like, well, is he going to cheese me? Does he respect me as a player? Does he think that I'll be able to defend it? It looks like both of them have taken that decision. Both of them believe that they're going to be able to hold each other's cheese. So we see the gas SCVs being taken out just in time for the first factory, and we're going to see a factory expand coming in from MadiNho.
Yeah, just going to go ahead and tech up a little bit more. Obviously, this gives you a little bit of extra map control with the Vulture and the ability to kind of get out there and see what is going on. And there's that random spot that maybe you get a chance to get into the Protoss base and kill a couple of cheeky probes, but it does delay your expansion a little bit.
It does. The first Zealot is going to go out. Luckily enough for him, he's guessed right on where MadiNho is, despite the fact MadiNho scouted cross first. So that's going to be a little victory for him at the start of the game. Of course, there is already 3 Marines at this ramp, but Zealots, of course, very strong against Marines early on. Takes 2 shots from a Zealot, but MadiNho's early game micro is absolutely godlike. He has 2v2 micro, and I mean, just look at this rapid. Like, what is this?
I'm watching, but it's just not. It's one very sad Zealot.
Yeah, he's gonna walk home now. He's not gonna get a medal Friar. He didn't die a warrior either. But he's gonna come back in. He's got a Dragoon ally now, a probe as well. But I mean, they're pushing up into 5 Marines, so that's gonna be dangerous. Probe goes down immediately as well. MadiNho sniping that straight away.
Yeah, I mean, this should be abusable, but high ground is high ground. Very, very strong advantage for Mad, and so he is able to hold that pretty perfectly. I mean, he might try to bust up with the Dragoon in the front, the Zealot coming behind, but at that point, it's like, well, the Zealot's probably not going to work out very well. But, I mean, we'll see round 2 once the Terran player tries to expand, which I guess might not be for a cool second. Wait a little bit to see whether or not Kyrie wants to put on pressure after he gets his gateways pumping.
Kyrie needs to, wow, he could have actually killed the SCV before it scouted out the Nexus, but I mean, I guess the SCV did see 1 gate core spinning, so he's going to know that there's going to be a Nexus behind this. I mean, it's very unlikely by 4 minutes 40 that you wouldn't see the tech already, so going to see an expansion coming in for MadiNho, but MadiNho doing something a little bit unexpected. 3 SCVs, 8 Marines, and 1 tank. Now, is this going to work? I've not seen a push quite like this in a very long time, and this could be a little bit of his 2v2 roots coming into this. Now, of course, this is kind of like a strong FD push, but how is it going to fare? How is Kyrie going to be defending? The problem is he's not got that buffer zone of the entire map worth of like retreating backwards. So this is going to be a strong push by MadiNho.
Yeah, the Zealot just goes down instantly because it had already taken quite a bit of damage, even though the Dragoons are dealing a bit of damage to the Marines. They're not target firing, so all the Marines actually have plenty of HP. Now, it's on the retreat that most of the losses are going to come in from Mad. And so he's not going to pull back too far. He does have his mine that's up, but Kyrie knows about it, so he's not going to push into it carelessly or anything like that.
Yeah, Kyrie, of course, does have his Nexus up now, so he's really achieved what he needed to, but still, it's going to be the push continuing. We're going to have 2 mines coming in at a time, but the meat is gone from in front of the tanks now. Does need to snipe that mine. Does get it in time.
He does get it, but I think overall this is a pretty big win for Kyrie. He holds pretty solidly. He might lose the pylon, but the worst case scenario is he'll just have to build it somewhere else. And he does have enough Dragoons at the front to stop the Speed Vultures from running by. And realistically, I mean, he has to worry about one tank with Siege mode, which he should still be able to break.
Oh, the mine. Okay, that was a pretty big mine. But the Vultures
now,
again.
Yeah, and now things might get a little bit dicey. Nope, great target fire. Kyrie really on point, targeting down every single mine.
Oh,
Ooh, the money shot there,
oh,
but he loses the tank for it.
And that's a pretty big deal. He's been relying a lot on these mines. The observatory's just about to finish. Robo support bay is finished as well, so there's going to be a ReV behind this. There is more tanks, more factories, an engineering bay coming back home. Well, coming up back home from MadiNho, but even losing his Vulture to a Mind Drag as well, so that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, it absolutely is. So at this point, the push is over, and Kyrie knows about that. So now he's got to try to transition, right? Find some way to get an observer out. Although I guess he is actually going Reaver and shuttle speed. Okay, wow! Instead of trying to push out and get a third base, which he might have the opportunity to here, he's going to go for Speed Shuttle Reavers.
Yeah, Speed Shuttle Reaver is going to be very strong on this map. I did point out before when we're looking at the overview, but just have a look. If we take off the overlay and everything, you can see a lot of airspace around the main bases and everything like that. So, going to be feeling pretty good for this Speed Shuttle to come in and maybe do some damage. A turret is coming up, but one thing I really want to point out, and one thing I noticed is MadiNho is on point with sending out SCVs to scout. Like, he is always moving SCVs around, just seeing exactly what his opponent's doing, and it's gonna see the shuttle coming in.
Yeah, that is actually so sick. He gets a Reaver and it kills the Probot that was building down at the bottom left-hand corner, the new third base coming in. So there is the Zealot out to take a tank shot. Gets one Scarab off, but it looks like it's gonna dud.
Yeah, the SCV split by MadiNho has been insane. I mean,
and he has these tanks unsieged, so they're able to actually deal a lot of damage to the Reaver. Actually takes it down to half health, and oh, another dud Scarab. Oh my god, the tragic tale of Mad's shuttle, or of Kyrie's shuttle.
Yeah, the big problem is he is having to defend with a lot of his units. There's a big swell of Dragoons, but the SCV again! The SCV seeing everything! And I mean, he's gonna maybe try and Bulldog now. He has a Dragoon, needs to be careful not to drop on mines. Oh! Wow.
I mean, that's why you have a Dragoon, right? He's gonna actually, oh wow, he almost lost the Reaver to the tank shot when it was sieged, but picks it up just in the nick of time. Still a great way to siege the front. Now he actually might kill all these SCVs. There we go. Finally some money shots coming through for Kyrie.
Yep, and I mean, the 4 tanks were back at home defending against the Reaver. And I mean, this SCV drill is gonna stop. Oh my god, the Mind Drag on the Reaver gonna kill one of the tanks as well. And the Zealot cleaning up.
Yeah, gets the second one. So, you know, obviously sucks to lose your Reaver, but taking down 2 tanks for it is still pretty good. The problem is that the Dragoons died on the ramp as they were trying to come up. So, for all intents and purposes, this push is over.
Yeah, but we see Vultures being sent straight down to the bottom left. He doesn't want the Protoss player from mining in this base. Unfortunately, never sent another probe, so no pylon wall is up. And oh my god, another mine taking out another Dragoon. How many poor Dragoons are we going to see die to mines today?
Yeah, it's a bad day for Dragoons, or really any Protoss unit against Terran mines. A little bit of damage now taking down the shields from this Nexus, but I mean, Kyrie should have the units back at home, right? He's got 2 Dragoons, but he's not moving them from the natural.
Yeah, I mean, Kyrie's trying to send these 3 Dragoons back. I mean, he's doing what he can.
Yeah, but he has a shuttle right next to it. He can just pick up the Dragoons and send them over.
I guess it's because he knows the Nexus isn't going to die. Like, it'll take a very, very long walk path. I mean, I guess you are eventually going to lose the Nexus, but...
No, he actually might lose the Nexus now.
Yeah, this is a little bit too late. I mean, the mine's denying a lot of time. And all it takes is like 1 tank to walk down here. Now there we see the shuttle bringing across the Dragoon. But that's dicey. That's 150 health.
135 at the end of everything. Yeah, you zoom 1 shuttle in, or 1 dropship in there. That is an easy to kill Nexus, even if it does get some of his shields back. It's almost dead, so maybe a little bit of a liability, but he does save it. Still doesn't have anything mining there, so it's not really very valuable yet. I think the bigger deal is that, you know, Mad stays alive, survives, gets his tank count up, defends really everything that was coming his way, and now he is going to be going into 5 fags.
Yeah, 5 fact behind this, going to be able to take a third if he so chooses to. He feels like he's got a bit of an advantage though, so could be using this +1 timing attack that looks like he is gearing up for. Now, no third command center on the way just yet. We see Mad sending vultures everywhere to lay mines. And I mean, Kyrie is still in an okay spot, but MadiNho is just doing a really, really good job right now.
He absolutely is. It still hasn't really put together a hard push or anything. Still just working on his upgrades, getting +1 done here in just a second.
Yeah,
and we'll have that
coming up as well. And still see vultures just heading around the map as they can. They're going to be walking into a forge and pylon wall now, so that base is going to be protected by the ground for now. There's going to be a cannon coming up there as well. But there's an empty shuttle flying around. I'm really not sure what the purpose of this is, but I guess he is getting scouting information, so that's something.
Yes, it is. Maybe also like could fake out, you know, Matt if he wants to run that in and say, "Ha!" But it's not actually going to do anything. More importantly, he's got to still support this bottom base. The pylon wall will not hold forever, but you know, the vultures are about the least damage that you can deal to buildings possible.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a 4th base coming in from Kyrie in a very precarious position, just across from the Terran's main. But there isn't any dropships in this game as of yet. We do see the control tower coming in, but there we go, dropship on command. Obviously MadiNho listening to the game in the past, but it's going to be Fleet Beacon for Kyrie.
Fleet Beacon, increased carrier capacity, and plasma shields coming through. We are really going to just go into carriers, and this is a cool switch. And this is probably the reason he's taking that kind of meme base. Like, realistically, you're not supposed to take the base between you and your opponent.
But
it's way too risky, but it's a staging ground.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's going to give you a place to build cannons, maybe even a couple of shield batteries. I mean, he's not actually built the Nexus yet, so maybe this was just to build the pylon. Could see, like, shield batteries there would be incredible though. Just imagine shield. Wow, Reaver in the main once again, nearly missed that.
Oh no!
MadiNho's
okay, saves everything.
MadiNho's SCV splits are insane. He's splitting the SCVs individually. Who the hell does this? This is so hard.
He's splitting them individually and he's blocking scarabs with them. Probably not intentionally, but damn, that looks good. And that's about the best anti-Reaver defense I have ever seen.
Yeah, like, I really need to learn how to do that, because whenever I defend against Reavers, I box all of them, move them to the other base, and then a Reaver Scarab goes off on them on the way, and then all of them die. But that's certainly something I need to learn, wow.
Darth kicks the dead.
I mean, I've not been doing too well in the Coach Pupil League, but this is what I need. Oh, double dropship though, coming in by MadiNho. In case you didn't know about this map, there is a droppable natural, and that looks to be what MadiNho is going to take advantage of. So this is going to be a lot of dead probes.
A lot of dead probes. He needs to pull them now. Oh, okay, not actually all that many probes go down. It's like 3 and 4. Oh wow, he actually did hit a bigger clump than I expected. But this should be pretty easy to clean up with dropping some Dragoons up on the high ground.
Yeah, dropping them on top, really good, but good usage of the vultures with the mines underneath. Gonna take down a lot of extra units that maybe you couldn't kill otherwise. And I mean, this is keeping Kyrie's units very busy. Of course, Kyrie is now finally taking that Nexus. Gonna add some cannons over here as well to intercept any future dropships. But the real story is the carriers. It's still 2 Stargate carriers. We've only got 1 at the moment. So MadiNho is going to have to look for a counter, and that looks like what he's doing. He's going for this timing. He has a lot of Goliaths right now. It's almost like watching a TVT with that vessel out in front as well. And he has definitely scanned the carriers now. He's scanning around for the
Yeah,
extra bases.
actually, there's a big timing here for Kyrie. Look at all these tanks. They're just totally undefended right up at the front. I mean, there's 3 Goliaths. Oh, no, there's 4 Goliaths, maybe. You could absolutely get in there and bulldog that. But maybe better safe than sorry, waiting for the carriers. Because that's how Kyrie wins the game at this point. He's got 3 carriers out, or he's about to have 3 carriers out. He's already got the interceptor upgrade, so he can send all of...
Check the third base rapid. It's down. 2 tank drop killed a lot of probes and killed the Nexus, like you said earlier.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Those vultures, that was an ISA. He was saving up for later with that damage, and it just paid out.
I watched down there. I went down, but I couldn't actually see the tanks because they were covered up by the bottom part of my screen. So it's like, what is happening down there? Finally, we figured it out. Damn, that was really nice. Now, finally moving forward, nice D-Matrix on the front tank, and trying to bulldoze through here. I think it will be able to kill off the tanks, but the Goliaths behind this should be able to deal quite a bit of damage. They are +1/+1, and this is versus only 1 shield upgrade on the Dragoons.
He doesn't have shield upgrade yet. I don't think it finished.
No, he does.
Oh, it just appeared. Okay, we see a dropship going in the top left, and that's going to scout the carriers. But the trouble is, these are unsupported Goliaths in the middle of the map now, so if he can get the carriers into the main, it's going to be a long, long walk path back to there. And I mean, there's not that many carriers. The armory, both of them in a very precarious position against carriers. I mean, the interceptor update has been finished for a long time now, and all the turrets are going down, and the Dragoons, the Zealots, chasing away the Goliaths in the middle of the map.
Would you say they're in a precarious position?
Nice, but he's going to get the armory, at least the first one. That's going to stop the upgrade.
He's going to lose the carrier. Wait, he's going to lose the carrier for free.
No, he's not. He's going to get away, I think.
No, he's going to lose the carrier.
Oh, yeah. That's a bit of a misclick. Oh! He saves
Oh
it.
my god, he doesn't. Oh, he misclicked. No, he's mistargeting. What are you doing? No! Kill the carrier, he's got 2 HP!
Oh, 1 shit!
Whoa! Gets it. There we go.
There we go. But, I mean...
Rip.
He's losing his front now. The tanks have gone down. The Goliaths have gone down in the middle of the map. They actually ran back to defend. And the front has been busted. There's Zealots and DTs in the third base. I think this has done it. Kyrie with the 3-pronged assault gonna take down MadiNho and win DM the series. 3-2.
Damn, that was very, very impressive. Great game. I actually thought taking down the base at the bottom left-hand corner was going to be a super big deal, but in the end, the carriers that kind of not island, but the corner base in the upper left-hand corner proved just super important as a staging ground. The carrier switch was in too good a spot, and like you said, the 3-pronged attack, that's really kind of what sealed the deal. Really well played by Kyrie, kind of a new face to the STPL, and it's a good way to debut. Yeah, it was, and just imagine he was meant to play in the first game as well, of course, as we're just about to see. PRL did win that game, but imagine if Kyrie, or if they'd lost that game and didn't make it to the ace match because of it, because Kyrie couldn't make it, but he did make it for the ace match, putting in a great play on Icarus. Xenosky taking out Caspus in a very weird PvP. Zaz taking down White in a more aggressive PvP, I'd say, and a little bit more interesting. But MadiNho taking down Yach to bring ReV to the ace match, but unfortunately his timing wasn't enough. He did a lot of damage the whole way through the game, but didn't have enough units to defend after throwing a lot of the way in dropships. So that's going to be the end of the series for today, but coming up next, or in the next few days, and the next coming week as well, we're going to see the conclusion to week 1, starting on Friday, the 28th of September. Media versus MSJ for Group A, and in Group B, Red versus Soul Gaming, the 3rd, 4th place match, rematch, revenge van match from the Round 2 playoff finals. And then on Monday, we're going to see Foreign Brood War FBW versus Valhalla, and Psystorm.eu versus IRK. And then STPL doesn't stop there, as we'll be heading into week 2, starting with FBW versus Ash on Wednesday, and Psystorm.eu versus BWL. So lots of STPL action still to come.
Of course, if you haven't used it already, there is a MadiNho code STPL3. You can get to the MadiNho page by doing !donate. I'll do a little Nightbot thing that'll tell you about that in a later period. But huge thank you, of course, to everyone who's donated so far, everyone who's played, everyone who's watched as well, and of course, T Rapid for always being here with me at such a late hour.
Well, definitely not always, but it is
most
great
of the
to
time.
be here. Yeah, broadcast from 4 a.m. to 7:40 a.m., so it's a little bit of a late night for me.
Yeah.
But I do really love the Brood War and the Brood War community, and it's great to be here with you, Kix. Big thanks to everybody else out there for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you have the time, head on over to the MadiNho page, hit !donate in chat, enter the code STPL3, and you can donate $1 to the prize pool for free, which I'm sure everybody else would appreciate. So you help support the Foreign Brood War community. It is really great, and I'm super thankful that you keep inviting me back here, Kix. It's my pleasure.
It's my pleasure as well. So it's good night from him.
And good night from you.
Okay, you say good night. Oh, it's fine. Either way, it's good night from me as well. So have a good evening. See you guys next time.